Good afternoon everybody. Welcome to a live sunset safari out in the African bush. I'm in the Eastern Cape down at Impala Game Reserve, and I've started my afternoon with something very different that you definitely might not see in a lot of places. My name is Tess, behind the camera is Igor, and we are very excited to see what we can find today. But first, we have to show you something cool because it's amazing. I don't know if you recognize this or if you know what it is. The most obvious thing is all of this very nicely beige, mounded up sand that's been dug out of a very deep hole that goes straight under the ground, and this whole area is just covered in these holes. But the indicator here is not only the hole, it's the tracks. Look at these tracks, very long tracks. Do you know what that is by any chance? Do you have any idea? Such a long track for a back foot and a tail mark. You can see where the tail has been resting on the sand. Definitely not something that you would see everywhere. This is a spring hare burrow. They live underground during the day. They come out at night to feed. It looks like a fluffy kangaroo with a dark tip on its tail and the cutest little rabbit-like face. An amazing little creature with exceptionally good digging skills. I don't know if you've ever seen a spring hare track before. I couldn't find a clearer one. I've been looking around the area, and this one is actually pretty perfect because you can see it kind of hopped out of the burrow and then just sat there. It just decided this is where I'm going to sit for a bit and decide where I'm going, and then an impression from where it actually pushed down, the pressure of pushing down to bounce off with its feet as it hops off like a kangaroo to go on its nightly adventures. A very nice semi-clear track of some spring hare feet. The hard work finally pays off. I'm joking, we didn't even track them. So the cheetahs have finally at least decided to come into an area where you can see them. You will hear there's another car in the sighting with us and some impalas going wild, rutting noises coming through the background there. But this morning they were playing hard to get. We were struggling to find a nice view of them, and they were in and out of the thickets. I'm just happy that they've at least decided to have a relax somewhere that we can see them. Well, they have been moving quite a bit. They're not in the usual corner, believe it or not. They've changed it up. They've mixed up the game. They're not in the usual corner. But they are in the same general area, the kind of southwestern edge. Oh, finally, you can actually see all three are there. That is so funny. They're so well hidden when they're flat. Hey, he's up. What did you hear, boy? Oh, that was a half yawn. That was a lazy yawn.
A sweet little sighting at the waterhole. Seems like everyone's drinking. Even the calves. Really, the calves generally don't leave their mother's side. The small ones. They are very much their mother's little shadow. Because the shadow is big, they're the little shadow. And the cows rarely let them out of their sight. And this is whether there is a bulling must around or not. They really sort of keep tabs on their little calf. Obviously, when the calves get a little bit older and a little bit bigger, they start to get braver. Mum may even have a new calf if they're about 4 years old, and they start to explore. I have seen some calves go up to bulls to try and interact, but really, the bulls are not that interested. They are interested in other things, being the ladies. Their focus is very much to find a female in estrus, I'm afraid. They've got to go from female to female, and they normally put their trunk on the lady's sensitive parts and try to taste or smell. I'm not sure which one is more appropriate here, whether they're in estrus or not. And not every cow is going to be in estrus, so it's a lot of work for the bulls to find a herd, to find a female that is actually in estrus at that point. If you think about it, the pregnancy is 22 months. That's a long period of time. That's almost 2 years. So there'll be a lot of pregnant females, so none of them will be in estrus. So he's just got to go from herd to herd until he finds a receptive female. So that's really his focus, and he's very focused on it. So interacting with calves, not so much.
Look at this. I first thought it was a snake. But I quickly hit the brakes and then I saw this white line. Now, I'm not sure if Panda can actually move in a little bit closer. You can see they moving like this big line of things. And what would they be? Well, I haven't seen them in quite some time. Right, these are caterpillars, all walking like a big train, head to toe, head to tail, attached to each other, literally like a big train on a track. So the first one here in front, the leader, will leave a silk trail, and all of them will follow the silk trail, and they are attached to each other. They physically touch each other. Not physically attached, but they touch each other. Sorry. So these are called processionary moths, or caterpillars rather, because they move in this procession. And why would they do that? Right, what happened when I arrived here? I saw this big white line curved, and I immediately thought it was a snake. And I stopped. Okay, closer inspection, it's worms, it's caterpillars. So it's obviously for confusion of potential predators, because I'm a big bird flying over. I see this, oh no, that's a snake, it's not food for me. But an individual caterpillar might be food for me. So here the strength lies in numbers. So there's deception happening here, as well as, so what they'll move to their host plant. Eventually they move up into a tree where they sometimes overnight. And they'll basically then move again as they need to find a new plant to forage on.
I must say, I really like the fact that we're able to do this without too much use of artificial light, or artificial white light, should I say. Well, Chris Rogue, I think he is sort of on a mission, but what he's doing now is he's smelling other leopards. And he's now doing ye olde Flemen grimace, interpreting the hormones that he'll pick up in the urine of whatever other leopard has been past that bush, possibly even just in the head rub that another leopard gave to that bush. Might be his father. Where we're sitting right now, we're actually pretty much at the corner of three leopards' territories: Tortoise Pan, Tavangumi and Maribye. Most likely his father, could be Tortoise Pan, could be Tavangumi that he's smelling there, or it could be his sister Tlalamba. She would have come pretty close to here last night, and we know that she did go on an extensive patrol. But he's picked something up. See a little bit of saliva dripping out of his mouth. Often an indication that he smelt another leopard. But you'll notice that right now he's not doing anything territorial, so it's not like he's marking territory himself. He's just trying to interpret who else is around. It'll be interesting to know if he can actually see something else in there. He's looking very intently into the bush, looking slightly sheepish. This is fascinating, actually, and quite nervous. If he chuffs, if he goes, we'll know there's another leopard there.
Hello, who is this? This looks like Tortoise Pan to me. That white mongoose got off very, very lightly, I must say. Look at this of a leopard. Now it is pitch black around us, everybody. This is in total darkness, and yet this leopard is walking, seeing, knowing exactly what is going on, and walking right past us. That is our car, and that is a male leopard. How exhilarating. But Paul, he's just on the corner of the road over here, over my shoulder, and some Impala are over here, and he's just there. Okay, so this is when he's going to go into possible stealth mode. He doesn't want to be seen. Oh, I'm going to go into the thickets. Jeremy TP the tank, indeed. Well, what's he going to do? Is he going to go around and try to get another angle? We're going to have to move. Where did he go indeed? Where did he go indeed? Anyway, everybody, we thank you for joining us on this Sunset Safari. It's been rather exhilarating, rather exciting to be out and about in the wild places. We do thank you for your questions and comments this afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Till then, good night and goodbye.